Our guest today is Scott Payton, managing partner of Bowen Craggs in London. Scott's going to teach us everything we need to know about IR web pages. This is one of 5 vid guides I made with Scott on Brock Romanek today on Zippy Point. So Scott, ENS on the IR web page. This is a hot topic. This is something new. We have sustainability, social issues, how much investors care about these topics increasingly. So how do you bake that into an IR web page?
Okay, well, I'm going to start off with an example that you can do tomorrow, or you can do this afternoon, you can do tonight. Something, step one, nice and easy. And I'm going to go to the French oil company Total for this example. So I'm in the investor relations section now. I'm in a Why Invest in Total page, which sets out at a high level the reason for investing in the company. And in related links at the bottom, there is a link to the ESG, Environment, Social and Governance section of the site. So step one is to ensure that if you don't yet have ESG, CSR, rich content in the investor relations section of your site or your IR site, then provide links, prominent cross links to wherever that lives. Related links, promotional panels are a nice, quick and easy way of doing that. I'm going to stay in France and go to Sanofi, the French pharmaceutical company now, to give you another relatively quick and easy thing you can do. And that is to provide an archive that has your financial reports and your CSR reports in one place. I think historically, and it's still the case on many corporate websites, that CSR reports live separately. They live in the sustainability section or our responsibility section. They don't live in the investor relations section. And as mainstream investors and analysts are increasingly factoring non-financial issues into their investment decisions, they're going to be wanting to look at the CSR report. So put it into the reports archive in your investor relations section. Quick and easy to do. Not quick and easy to do, but this is a trend that has grown for at least 10 years in Europe. And I believe is starting to take off in the United States too. And that is producing integrated annual reports that cover financial, social, and environmental performance metrics and issues in an integrated and joined up way. If your company already does that, then you're sitting pretty when it comes to serving investors who want CSR information, ESG information, well on your website. But I think this is a trend that we're seeing, and BASF, the German chemicals company, has a really, really good interactive online integrated annual report that has interactive charting tools that cover financial data and non-financial data, environmental and social data, all in one place in a really joined up way. So I think what investor relations departments can do is to continue to fly the flag of the advantages of integrated reporting. Integrated reporting is a big, massive, separate issue, but when it comes to serving the investment community well online with joined up financial, social, and environmental performance data and qualitative information, then integrated reporting is a very powerful stepping stone along the way. And now I'm going to go to Nirvana, the holy grail of effective treatment of social and environmental issues in the investor relations section. I'm going to go to BP here now, which has in 2020, Bowen Craggs, my company, named BP the world's best company at communicating with all external stakeholder groups well online, including investors and analysts. Really, really good. bp.com is world class, and that includes covering ESG content in the investor relations section. So I'm now in the investors section of bp.com, and there's really, really rich quantitative and qualitative ESG information inside as a dedicated subsection of the investor relations section. Some other good practice here, it's headed with a message from the chief executive from the top. And this is good practice when it comes to all social and environmental and governance communications. Is you get a quote, you get a video, you get an introduction from the chief executive, and that immediately sends a message that this is not a greenwashing exercise. This is not something that the marketing department thinks is a good idea as a kind of bolt-on. This is something that has got the attention of and is led by the chief executive. So lead your ESG communications materials by a message from the chief executive. Provide clear signposts to aggregated key performance data across environmental and social and governance metrics, ideally integrated with financial metrics too. That kind of depends on how far along, as I say, the integrated reporting journey your company is. But do what you can with what you have and aggregate as much of the top level data as you can. Provide interactive charting tools covering non-financial metrics if you can. Provide cross-links to rich CSR information or relevant CSR information elsewhere on your web presence. Promote this content in a structured and consistent and frequent way on your social media channels, and start treating it as an integrated part of good investor relations. And I think that's the secret, really. For many, many years, from an investor relations perspective, ESG was a bit of a niche, quite a niche. It was of interest to SRI analysts, SRI funds, not really the mainstream. Then for many years, people said that was changing, but it wasn't. This is a personal opinion. I think a lot of it was continued to be the case that behind closed doors, a lot of mainstream analysts didn't. They said they'd take it seriously, but they kind of weren't. I think there has been there's been a watershed the last couple of years, and you have Larry Fink from BlackRock kind of saying that we are now going forward going to be fundamentally factoring social and environmental issues into our long-term investment decision-making processes. And I think it is now in Bowen Craggs benchmarking, we're always updating our benchmarking methodologies, and until recently, is this kind of rich ESG content in an investor relations section. We gave it a tick, but it wasn't considered to be a must-have. I think in 2021, this kind of rich ESG content fully integrated into the investor relations section is a must-have.
Yeah, and by the end of the day, it might end up being the most important part of your IR webpage because it's such an important topic. Yeah, I love it. The interactive chart generator. Whoa, that's fancy. I love seeing that. This has been great stuff. Thanks very much, Scott.
It's a great pleasure.